Hey Canucks fans, welcome to Clay's Canucks commentary for Wednesday, January the 24th. Wow, what a game last night. As I mentioned yesterday, I was very excited to go to the game, first game at Rogers Arena in 3 weeks, and I surely wasn't disappointed. The Canucks pummeled the Kings. They hammered the Kings. You could say that the Canucks crowned the Kings. See what I did there? I went with my parish priest, Father Mark, good buddy of mine. We had a wonderful time, obviously, great time catching up, even though the first thing we saw when we walked in the arena was 20 guys dressed up as nuns and a bishop. So whatever, to each his own, I guess. The Canucks came out flying. They built up a 3-0 lead in the first 6 minutes, eventually chasing Jonathan Quick from the net and on their way to a 6-2 victory. And when the Canucks win, they win big. I looked at the schedule. In their last 4 wins, including last night, they've won 5-2, 5-2, 3-2, and now 6-2. So in those 4 wins, they've outscored their opponent 19-8, which is pretty good. Good offense there. Of course, when they lose, they also lose big. And granted, those 4 wins have taken a month to accumulate. But hey, we're going to stay positive today because it was such a good game, a fun game last night. So a few things, a few observations. Travis Green is not afraid to mix things up, whether it's his power play units, his defense pairings, and last night we saw in his forward line. So when they tweeted out the lineup, you actually had Brock Boeser with the Twins, you had Horvat between Eriksson and Vanek, you had Berchi and Granlund surrounding Brandon Sutter on the third line, and then you had Nick Dowd centering Jake Virtanen and Sam Gagner on the fourth line. And it seemed to work, at least for that Horvat, Vanek, Eriksson line, because Eriksson had those 3 points, 2 goals and assists in his first 3 shifts of the game. So Eriksson ended up with 3 points, Vanek had 3 points, and then you had Boeser, Horvat, and Edler all with 2 points apiece. Now Boeser, his 2 points, his 2 goals, both came on power plays actually. So, and surprisingly enough, the Sedins didn't factor in any of them. So it was kind of strange to see a 6-goal outburst by the Canucks, but both Daniel and Henrik held off the score sheet. Doesn't mean they played poorly at all. In fact, they played well. They controlled the puck, especially on the power play. That power play is a lot of fun to watch now that Horvat is back. He replaced Granlund in front of the net, so that unit is really clicking with the Sedins, Horvat, Alex Edler, and of course Brock Boeser. Speaking of Brock and his 2 goals, the first one was a wonderful one-time, basically collecting a rebound off a sweet dish from Edler, a soft pass down to Horvat in the crease. Horvat made a great move, got quick down, and then Boeser put it in the backhand. But Boeser's second goal, oh, that was awesome. Just a few seconds after Trevor Lewis cross-checked him from behind into the boards, and there was a collective gasp at Rogers Arena, as I'm sure you can imagine. But Boeser promptly got up, wanted to stay on. The ref said, no, we blew the play dead for you. You had to get off. So no problem. You see Travis Green whisper to Horvat, take the draw and come off. So Horvat wins the draw, skates off. Boeser finds a seam, and boom, slap shot past Jonathan Quick. The goal that ends up chasing Quick from the net. So that was nice. That was really nice, obviously. And Boeser, I think he simply got tired of hearing about Matthew Barzal for the last 3 weeks. So Boeser has closed the gap a little bit, still way ahead in goals. And as I've said many times on Clay's Canucks commentary, it will be very interesting to see which way the voters go. Do they go with the more flashy, you could say, and more points in Barzal, although he's playing with a lot of better players or higher scoring players in Tavares, Bailey, Undersley, and so on and so forth? Or do you go with Brock Boeser, the goal leader, and playing basically put the team on his back while Horvat was gone? So Boeser, good job. We learned a lesson. Do not make him angry. A couple other things. Jake Virtanen, perplexing game for Jake for me. As you know, I'm a very big fan of his. I want him so badly to succeed. He had 12 minutes of ice time, which wasn't bad. He got a lot of ice time actually in the fourth, I noticed. In the third period, whereas Travis Green didn't actually roll all 4 lines evenly. He actually rolled only 2 or 3 lines for the last few minutes. So the Sedins and Boeser actually didn't see a lot of ice in the last few minutes of the game. It was the fourth line, which is fine. You're up 6-2. I get that. So Virtanen had 12 minutes of ice time, and he had 4 hits, which is the most on the team. But I also noticed that when he's not moving his feet, he's not very effective. And yes, he's such a good skater, as we've talked about. He has a big body, and he needs to continue to compete on every shift. And there are a few times where I just noticed that he gets caught flat-footed in the neutral zone. And maybe that's a thing because he's still only a third-year player, and maybe that's something that will come with confidence. The other thing that will come with confidence is his offensive ability. A lot of times he comes into the zone and it's very predictable. He'll try a wrister from either the slot or from far out, and he's not the best passer yet. So, unfortunately, a lot of offensive forays die when they get into the zone, when Virtanen's on the ice, or when the puck's on his stick. But hopefully that will change with more confidence. So, certainly not giving up on him. Interested to see what kind of contract he gets. It's his third year, so he's ending his entry-level contract, so he's one of many RFAs on the Canucks team. Last thing, Bo Horvat. What a beast. What a difference he makes when he's in the lineup. He went 21 for 28. Yes, 21 and 7. 75% in the face-off circle. It goes without saying that face-offs are very important. He had his 2 assists, and he looked fast. He looked strong. Made a beautiful move, a dangle on Doughty on the Eriksson goal, setting Eriksson up on that second goal. He looks like he hasn't skipped a beat, which is crazy considering he missed 7 weeks with that broken ankle or fractured ankle. So it was a wonderful time. Lastly, I want to give a shout out to a good buddy, or he seems to be a good buddy, or will be a good buddy, named Tyrell Kenmore. He was in from Medicine Hat for a few days, so he went to his first game in Vancouver ever, which is kind of cool. And he's taking the Rogers Arena tour today, and I got a chance to meet him on one of the intermissions. He had nice words to share about my content and my videos and my songs. So one of the very few people who does. So thanks, Tyrell. I appreciate the kind words. And as I mentioned last night, you're a good stand-up guy, and I appreciate the support and you watching these videos. And I apologize for the time that in your life that you're never going to get back. All right, Canucks fans, that's it. Leave your thoughts below. Leave your thoughts below on the game. Maybe on Eriksson's performance, Vanek, Brock Boeser, of course, Bo Horvat coming back. Tomorrow, the Canucks play against the Buffalo Sabres, and I'm very excited. My son Sean and I will be going and joining the well-known Lars Scheiders cheering section. Have a great day, Canucks fans. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so already, and God bless. Go Canucks, go.